everybody, welcome to Otter Weekend here at our zoo. My name is Annie and I'm here with our awesome zookeeper Catina today. So Catina, can you tell us a little bit about the two otters that we have at our zoo?
Yes, we have two otters. Their names are Ashkii. She's our female. She's 5 years old. She came to us from National Zoo. And we have Sailor, who's 14. He came to us in 2012 from Alligator Adventure Park.
Great, and our otters look pretty similar. Can you tell us how maybe guests would be able to tell them apart if they come here and see them?
Yes. Well, Sailor is a little bit darker, and he's got what I call a little smile under his nose. He's got this mark that looks like a smile, and he's got a darker belly. And Ashkii's a little bit lighter, and she's got no markings under her nose.
So North American river otters are actually found right here in the Rochester area, specifically in our Genesee River, and they do stay here year-round. So Catina, what are some other adaptations that help them survive in this kind of climate?
Well, if you look at the otters swimming, you'll see a stream of bubbles coming up from them. That's because they have two coats. They got a soft down, and then they got the guard hairs, and then they trap the air in between, so it keeps them insulated and dry, so they can go in the water at any time during the year and remain perfectly dry. They also have a streamlined body that helps them swim. Their tail is long and it acts as a rudder. They have webbed feet, and they also have an adaptation that they have an eyelid that kind of closes, a transparent eyelid, so they can see in the water, and they can close their nose off too. And they have whiskers that sense where the fish are, so they can sense movement in the water.
So to celebrate the otters here at our zoo for Otter Weekend, we did some really special enrichment for them. So Catina, can you explain to us what exactly enrichment is and what kind of enrichment you did for our otters today?
Okay. Well, enrichment is a change in their environment. So it's anything that, it could be something that new smells, it could be new sights, something that they can play with, something different to eat. So today we have 2 ice blocks, and it has all their favorite foods in it. They got their fish, seafood. It's their morning diet. They get fed 3 times a day. They get about around 200 grams of fish in the morning and the afternoon, and they get meat in the midday. So this is their morning diet, and it's all in 2 ice blocks. So I'm going to put those in the pool, and they have to use their teeth and their claws and break away at the ice to get the fish and the seafood.
And that's so great because enrichment, the goal always is to make sure that they're using their adaptations just like they would in nature. So out in nature, when otters are swimming around finding fish, it's not super easy for them. They have to really use their claws and their teeth to get that kind of food that they would be eating. So it's really great to do things like ice blocks. So what are some other forms of enrichment that our otters like?
They like different smells, different scents. It could be different kind of bedding to lay in. They have their favorites, probably food. Next is bedding. So it could be something yummy that they don't normally get on a daily basis. They get, at the zoo we get a certain amount of, or certain types of fish here. So it could be something that they don't normally get, like a crayfish, which they really love, or clams, or something new like that. Or it could just be like a different kind of bedding, like we'll put wood wool down if we've been using straw for a while, and we'll find hollow logs and we'll put some bedding in there. Or some blankets. They love their blankets, especially in the winter. They love to curl up in those. Or it could be something fun like a ball pit too, where you can hide food in there. They love that as well.
North American river otters are listed by the IUCN as least concern right now, but least concern, as we know, doesn't mean that there's no concerns. And especially in our area here in Rochester, they were actually locally extirpated or extinct in this area for many years. So Catina, what are some threats the otters are facing right now?
Well, their biggest threat is, one of the things is pollution, and what we can do to keep our waterways safe is recycle and not pollute. If the water's polluted, then they could damage the fish, they could harm the otters, and then if the otter eats the fish that's contaminated, that can make them really sick.
Yeah, so recycling makes a really big difference, and that's something that everybody can do at home. Make sure that you're recycling as much as you can, and make sure you're doing it the right way too, because you never want to put things that are not recyclable into your recyclables, because that can actually ruin the whole batch of recyclables. And another thing people can do is making sure that when you throw your garbage away, anything that can't be recycled, you're getting it actually into a trash can or a trash receptacle. Because a lot of times people don't realize that when they're putting their garbage on the ground, even if you're far away from our river, it's actually going to be affected by the wind and rain and eventually end up in our waterways. So really, is even if you don't live right by the waterways, what you're doing and your actions do affect all of the animals that live in that ecosystem. So these little actions are a really great way for you to take part in otter conservation too.
Yes.